Here, a Soviet infantry company is in a defended position on a hill overlooking the open fields. Opposite them are two German companies with attached machine guns. They want to assault this position. They plan to send one company into the tree line, set up a base of fire, and then develop the attack from there. First, we place orders. These would have been here from the previous turn, but it just gets us started. One of the German companies places an overwatch marker on its machine gun. It's not going to follow the order of the rest of the company. There's no artillery in this example. We go straight to movement phase. We roll initiative. The Germans win, so they reveal and move first. Here, the company at the top is doing a hasty advance with 3 stands to get to the tree line. The other company is on hold and will provide covering fire. The German company at the top can move its stands up to 12 inches, easily enough to reach the tree line, and so it does so. Now the Soviets reveal their order. They're on a hold. Next is opportunity fire. For opportunity fire, the Soviets choose to fire at the company that moved in the open at a point where they're no longer in cover. So for this, the stands are moved back to that position and the fire is resolved. The Soviets target one stand and they find that other stands are within 2 inches of that, so they're firing at all the stands in the area. Each stand will get 2 dice, but when they roll, they get no hits. The Germans can then complete their movement back to the tree line. Also in opportunity fire phase, we have the machine guns and other infantry stands that didn't move. The infantry is out of range, but the machine guns are in range, although because of the defended status of the Soviets, their target number is less than 1. They can shoot, but they can't actually cause any hit effects. It does cause a morale check though. Similarly, in general fire phase, the German infantry stands that moved can fire, but their target number is less than 1, and so they can't cause any hit effects. Now we go to the command and morale phase. Here, both sides place commands. Note that the machine gun platoon that got left behind in the advance is now outside of 6 inches from the order that must be placed next to the command infantry stand, so therefore it's out of command. It just will sit there until it gets back into command again. Now we do morale. For morale, we have units that got shot at, and also units that are in 12 inches of the enemy. So the Soviet company must test. They pass morale because it's underneath their modified morale. Similarly, the German company that moved checks morale, and they don't suffer any morale failures. Now we go back to rolling for initiative in the movement phase. Here the Soviets win. They're on a hold order again, no surprise. The German company behind the tree line is on a hold order, and the other company is on a cautious advance through the fields. The Germans move. We move to opportunity fire phase. The Germans who didn't move, as well as the Soviets, can both fire in this phase. The Germans can fire 2 dice each, but at this range, their target number is less than 1, so they can't cause any hits. Similarly for the machine gun in the woods. The Soviets now target a stand. They have a target number that's greater than 1, and each stand once again will get 2 dice. They roll those dice, and they get 2 hits. Now we check for hit effects, and the results are 6 and 7. We check that against the troop quality of the targets, experienced, and that causes them to be forced back. Those 2 stands will move back into the woods and face the opposite direction. In other words, they face in the direction that they were forced back. Next we go to general fire phase. The 2 stands in the open here can shoot. The infantry can't cause any effect, but the machine gun can. It rolls to hit, but misses. Now we move back to the orders phase again. We place new orders on both of the German companies and a new order on the Soviet company, and then we need to check for morale. The Soviets check for morale, they pass once again. The German company at the top of the screen checks morale, they pass. The German company at the bottom of the screen rolls low and they also pass. They're a little bit lucky. Now we go back to the movement phase again. We roll initiative, the Soviets reveal first, they're on a hold. The German company at the top is on a cautious advance to try and assault the position, and the one at the bottom of the screen is also on a cautious advance. The advantage with the cautious advance here is that when you shoot in general fire phase, you don't suffer any penalties. The Germans move forward, and then there's opportunity fire. Each of the Soviet stands get 2 dice. This time they decide to split their fire. One stand will shoot at the company assaulting it from the top, the other one will go at the open stands in the field. At the top, one stand is hit and is forced back, goes back into the tree line. At the bottom, one stand is hit and another stand is forced back. That drives another stand back through the fields. The Germans retaliate in general fire phase. They'll get 1 dice for each of the infantry stands and 2 dice for the medium machine gun. The infantry stands both miss. The medium machine gun misses as well. The Soviets have survived once again. Now we're going to place orders and then check morale. We place orders once again, and then we go to morale. The 2 German infantry companies managed to pass morale, as does the Soviets. The Germans have been a little lucky here. They could easily have failed a morale roll here and been pinned down or even shaken or demoralized. Checking initiative again, the Germans go first for movement phase. They assault up into the Soviet platoon at the top of the screen, and at the bottom they get close but they can't get into contact with the one at the bottom. In opportunity fire, here the Soviets decide to put all of their fire into the company at the top, the one that is close assaulting. Infantry has a 180-degree arc of fire, so both stands can draw line of fire to the enemy here. When we roll the hits, we get 3 hits. And when we roll the results, those are 3 eliminated results. That entire group of German infantry stands has been eliminated. That doesn't necessarily mean they're all dead. They could just be fleeing back across the fields. Now we go to general fire phase. The Germans will fire into the Soviets here. They're more than 2 inches apart, so that means we can't hit both of them in the same attack, so we put 2 stands on one and 2 stands on the other. As a result of this, the stand at the bottom is eliminated. The Germans are finally making some headway here. Now we go to orders and morale. Now the command infantry stand from the top company was eliminated, but we can reassign command to one of the remaining stands. That's just the medium machine gun, so now basically it's ordering itself. The Germans in the field place an order and also put their medium machine gun on overwatch, and we're ready to go again. Now we're checking morale. When we check morale for the infantry company in the fields, they fail and they become pinned. Now, pinned command stands can't issue orders, so we remove the order. They're a little bit stranded in the field now. The machine gun back in the woods fortunately rolls low and passes morale, and the Soviets also pass morale. Now we move to movement phase. Here, the medium machine gun moves up on a cautious advance order, gets to the edge of the trees. The Soviets once again are on hold. They'll do their 2 dice of opportunity fire into the Germans sitting in the field. Here, they don't get any hits. Pinned troops are a little bit harder to hit. Going into general fire phase, the machine gun changes facing and then fires. It manages to score 1 hit, and that hit is an eliminated result. So, the Soviets have been driven back from their position. So, this was pretty touch and go for the Germans. They have managed to eliminate the defenders on the hill, or at least push them back, and they will take the position. However, to do that, they lost most of a company and they got very, very pinned down. Also, it took quite a long time. That was 5 turns of play, which equates to 2.5 hours of time. So for the Germans to cover the 700 to 800 meters of ground and take out this company position on the hill took them about 2.5 hours with quite a lot of casualties.